I know we've only known each other for 4 weeks and 3 days, but to me, it seems like 9 weeks and 5 days.
Welcome, everybody, to all my garden enthusiasts and passionate plant people. I can't forget that part, but welcome today to our Sunday edition of the Let's Get Growing show here on the Urban Gardener channel. I am Enoch. I'm your host today. We've got a really great show ahead for you today. We have coming back with us here the garden party. Yes, we got the garden party with us here. Destin from Texas, garden guy. Phil from Phil's Figs. Dezz from Gardening with Dezz, back with us again here on the show for our Sunday roundtable here just a little bit later on in the show. Going to be a great conversation with those guys as always. So definitely stay tuned here for that just a little bit later in the show. And of course, we've got our In the Garden segment. Got a cool little fun little In the Garden segment for you all here in just a little bit as well. But if you are here with us and joining us here at the top of the show, let's definitely click that like button real quick. Hit that thumbs up. Hit the bell notification, or subscribe and hit the bell notification to be notified of all of our upcoming videos and live streams, and definitely share with all your friends and let them know about the Let's Get Growing show and all these fun shows we get to have here each and every weekend right here on the Urban Gardener channel. 11 a.m. Pacific time, 2 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. for all of you in the UK. And if you're willing to get up bright and early, nice and early, 4 or 5 a.m. over there in Australia as well too. But thank you all so much for being here today, and a big huge shout out to all of you who are joining with us on the replay. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for taking your time to come and check out the Let's Get Growing show. And if you can, jump into the comment section below. Let me know what you've got growing on this year. Let me know how the garden's going. We're well into it. I'm sure you're harvesting a lot of stuff. Let me know all about it in the comment section below, or just drop in and say hi. Love to hear from all of you guys. Thank you so much for doing that. And if you are here with us live today and you have any questions or comments, definitely jump into the chat and get into the conversation. Also, if you have any questions for me or our guests here in just a little bit here on the show, definitely put those into the comments as well, and big bold capital letters so I can see those questions from the regular conversation. Also, follow all of our links down below in the description to all of our guests and our other social media. So thank you all so much for being here today. Again, like I said, we've got a really great show ahead for you here today. And also, as I mentioned too, we've got a new video that just came out on Friday. I finally got my rooftop pepper garden video put out this last Friday. So if y'all haven't had a chance to go back and check that out, go and check that out. It's really great. We finally got up our peppers up onto my carport rooftop. I used to garden up there all the time. Had a pepper garden for years up there until the previous ownership that lived here came along and said, no, I don't think we want to have those up there anymore. And I had to take them down for now several years. So we finally got them back up here. We got new ownership and they're all right. In fact, they helped me get them up there. In fact, so go and check that out and see how our peppers are growing along too, because again, it's been a little while since I got a chance to put out a video on this pepper series because of all of our issues with the computers and my editing computer and all of that sort of stuff. So we finally got everything all situated back to normal. So I got that video out. And then also too, we'll have, I'm going to try to do a summer garden tour, kind of look around at all the garden spaces for this next upcoming week. So you'll definitely, like I said, want to hit that bell notification to be notified when that video comes up here, coming up here this next week. I also wanted to mention too, one last time, this is the last day of Sarah's Seed Shop. It's officially closing after today. So this is our last day to go in and help support her. She's closing down her shop there at Sarah's Seed Shop. She's got some really, really great sale prices, liquidation prices on everything that's left over there in her shop. In fact, garlic season's coming up. As you saw, there's she's got some really great German hardneck garlic that I actually grow in my garden too, that you can get there at the Sarah's Seed Shop as well too. And you know, and just got lots of little things left over. Some things are sold out, but she also has some bulk seeds as well too that you can get. And again, holiday season will be coming up here in a few months, so a good opportunity. Maybe grab up some bulk seeds and make maybe some little seed gifts that you can give away to folks for the holidays. So that's a great idea there too. And definitely go and check her out at sarahseedshop.com. And let's help support her as she's closing out her shop. Really unfortunate to see her have to close her shop down, but we all understand how difficult it can be sometimes to run certain types of businesses or just small businesses in general. So, you know, it was really great to have her here for, you know, doing all of our Sarah's trivia on Saturdays. And hopefully, again, we'll be able to work something out, maybe keep her around if we can. But if not, it's all been a great run with Sarah here on the show. And you know, we'll miss having her shop around and everything to be able to go and get our essential seeds. But hopefully the next chapter in Sarah's life goes really, really well. In fact, I think she's getting married here this next month. So, you know, she's got big changes, big positive changes going on, even though the seed shop is closing down. So right on, everybody. Thank you for being here today. Again, we got a great show for you here. Let's jump in the chat real quick and see who we got with us here. Of course, we want to say right here hello to our good friend Jay Dixon, joining us from Huron County, Midwestern Ontario, in the lee of Lake Huron. And Jay was with us for yesterday's show. You can go back and check out yesterday's show and hang out with Jay. We talked a little bit about fall gardening, so you can go check that out. And then I saw here too, gardening channel with hot potato, first one into the chat today before the show. So right on. Thank you for joining with us here. See Texas Organic TV, right on. Bowtie Life, right on. This is all of his garden heroes in one place. Superheroes even, right on. Excellent. Yeah, we got the garden party and all those guys with us here a little bit later, so it's going to be great. And Adam joining us from up the road in Central Point, Oregon. Great to have you there with us, Adam. Thank you for joining in. Let's see here. Who else do we got here in our chat with us today? Let's see. Oh, Eddie. I see Eddie here. Eddie Lyles. Thank you for being in the chat and joining in with us there. Thanks for coming to hang out with us here for a really fun Sunday edition of the show. Like I said, we're gonna have a really great conversation here in just a little bit with our good friends from over at the garden party. Dusty Flats, thank you. Awesome to see you there. He says low of 50 degrees Fahrenheit this morning. Wow. And by Thursday could be freezing already. Wow. We still got some warm days for us and a few more hot days ahead as well too, coming up here this next week. But yeah, I'll be looking forward to a little bit of the cool down. I like a hot summer, but it is kind of nice after dealing with so many, like for us here where I live in Southern Oregon, all these 100-degree days and really high temperatures. It does get to the point where you're like, oh, I look forward to a little bit of cooling down coming up as well. Right on. Excellent. Let's see here. I see MKP in here. He says, I need to order my garlic heads for October planting. Yeah. Go over, check out Sarah's Seed Shop and grab up some of those some of those German hardnecks that she's got. They're really delicious, really awesome garlic to grow. And you can get a really good deal from her as well too. So go check that out there. Get those garlics for your planting coming up, because it's coming up real soon. It's gonna be time to be putting those garlic in the ground here real soon. And we got Keith. Nice to see you, Keith. Thanks for joining us today. Great to have you here with us on the Let's Get Growing show. Right on. And And Dusty says, there's a strange cold front dipping down in upper Midwest. Not normal. Oh boy. Yeah, it's a little cool down. But again, I'd like a little one, but I don't know about any freezing temperatures yet. I'm never really down for freezing temperatures, but eventually, but not yet. Let's see here. Oh, Serena in the chat here says, I covered the carrot seed tape with soil. Some seeds are already sprouting. Awesome. Yeah, I'm getting out and getting my carrots started up this week as well, too, as a few other things I'm getting started for my fall garden. We talked a lot about that, like I said, with Jay yesterday on the show. You want to go and check that out as well tomorrow for yesterday's show. And Bowtie says, I am rooting for everyone's harvest here. Me too. I hope you guys have had some really great gardens this year and that they're producing really, really well for you at this point in time. But right on, everybody. Thanks you again for being here. Like I said, we've got a really great show for you all. We've got the garden party coming up here in just a little bit, but it is also Sunday, and so we have our In the Garden. And guess what? It's one of those months where there's a fifth Sunday in the month, and we know we got our good friends Mr. MBC and David over at Bowtie Life and Paul from Guten Gardening doing and covering most of our In the Garden segments. But when it comes to every other month or so, when we have a fifth Sunday of the month, well, that responsibility falls on me to put together for a little In the Garden segment. So we had a little road trip that came up yesterday, and I thought I would kind of film a little bit of that and kind of show you guys, especially because we were talking about fall gardening with our good friend Jay Dixon yesterday. So let's catch up with In the Garden and see where we go. So, all right, everybody, welcome today to In the Garden, which more appropriately should be called In the Greenhouse, as we're out today, out hunting for some fall veggie starts for our fall garden. And look who I got with us here today. Hey, is our good buddy Adam. Adam, take me out here to Ashland Greenhouse so that we can check out their selection of fall veggie starts. It's a great time to start looking at fall veggie starts. Check out some of your local greenhouses that you might have in your area to see who is growing those good starts, because getting starts is a great way, Adam, to get our fall garden going too, because they got a good head start, right?
Definitely do.
Yeah. So it's definitely a great opportunity to get out and check out some of your local businesses as well too. Get some good starts for your garden. So let's go in here. Let's check out what they've got here at the Ashland Greenhouse. So, all right, let's take a look at what they've got here for some fall veggies. Yes, lots of really good stuff here available. And again, too, you don't see very many greenhouses putting out fall veggie starts. So this is really great. Got some basil here. And this is a variety I haven't heard of before, Rutgers Devotion. Yeah, really smells great. And we've got some broccoli, not very much left. You know, this must be very popular here, so people have taken them. I've got a couple myself for my garden. We thought we'd leave one left over for someone else as well. But you also got some Brussels sprouts here. And Brussels sprouts, I love Brussels sprouts. They're just so hard to grow. But again, getting them started, they've already got a good head start to them right now. So these would be great time. Get these in the garden for the fall garden and leading into the winter, because they're gonna love the cold weather.
I know one thing about Brussels sprouts. They're gonna love the cold weather. And then another cooler weather crop too is cilantro. For those of you who like cilantro out there, I know some folks don't care for it very much. I love cilantro. And again, always best to grow that in the cool season. And then of course we got some kales here. And this one's called a prism curly kale that they have here. And then I also see some dinosaur kale. Got some dinosaur kale there. And then over here, we got some of the red Russian kale too. So yeah, got 3 good varieties of kale to grow. Again, perfect time. This is something you definitely want to be growing for your fall garden, is some kale. And then here we've got what we call Ruby Perfection, a red cabbage here. Definitely gonna have to get some cabbage for the garden as well. And looks like more of the same variety here. And then we got another cabbage here. This one here is Fast Vantage. Yeah, that's gonna be great. Definitely have to get some of this one too as well for our fall garden. And then here we've got a China King. Here's a nice Asian cabbage here as well too. So yeah, again, have to grab some of that up. And for those of you who like cauliflower, I'm not much of a fan of cauliflower, but they definitely got some nice plants here. These look really, really great. And then some chives. Again, those are gonna go great for your fall garden. And then here we see some different lettuce varieties. Now I'm gonna direct sow my own lettuces for the most part, but they do have what is Paris Island cause, and that's basically a romaine lettuce. Now I might grab one of these flats of romaine lettuce and get a good head start on a romaine head lettuce, and see what we can do with that in the fall garden as well too. But yeah, and they got some red leaf as well. And over here we got onions. So yeah, I might grab up some onion. We've got a red wing, red bulb onion. And then here this one is a Walla Walla sweet. Now I love a Walla Walla sweet onion, and I've never really planted them out for a fall garden. So I was thinking, you know what? Might as well try some onions and see how well those do for our fall garden as well too. But yeah, how awesome is this? Again, not very many greenhouses do fall gardening starts, so we're really fortunate here to have a selection of a few varieties of different veggies that we can get for our fall garden. They also have a nice little selection of herbs and perennials here. Looks like they got lots of nice healthy rosemary, some lemongrass, and of course we got lavender. And as you can see, the bees are just loving the lavender over here as well. And then yeah, got some mint, apple mint too. That's a good mint there. I have a variety of apple mint in our garden as well. And then some thyme. And then we also got some oregano, just a nice Italian oregano. And then they also have here too, and I don't know, but I've been thinking about possibly doing an artichoke or so, but these guys can become monsters. These things will get huge. But man, they're so delicious though too. Yeah, lots and lots of good stuff here. So all right, here we go. Nice little plant haul from the Ashland greenhouse here. Again, we got some of that cabbages here. We've got regular cabbages. We've got the Chinese cabbage. I'm gonna go ahead and try some of the red onion for overwintering and seeing. And then of course we got some broccoli and some red cabbage as well too. So yeah, nice little haul here. These guys should do really, really great in our gardens. So all right, real quick here, let's take a minute here. And I don't see very much. Again, we are in the height of summer right now. It is very warm here, but they do have a few things going on here. Let's just take a minute. Let's go take a look right over here at what they've got growing. So just over here, see they got a bunch of flats of this pepper. It's like an ornamental pepper. Kind of looks like the Chinese 5-color pepper I've grown before in our gardens, but like a small, compact, kind of ornamental pepper. Yeah, look how beautiful those plants are though. Man, they grow some nice plants here. Here's more of those peppers here. And then, of course, we've got Christmas cactus as well too, getting ready for the holidays. So they got lots of those flats as well. And then again too, as you see here in the background, they also got a bunch of poinsettias as well too. So they're getting all their poinsettias all ready to go for the Christmas season here. So all right, there we go. Nice little fun little trip here out to Ashland Greenhouse. They still got lots of great things growing around here and a great little selection of fall veggies. You might want to call around in your area as well too to some of your local greenhouses and see if they got any fall veggie starts that you can get for your garden. Again, it's good to get some of these greenhouse grown starts as well too. They got a good head start. They're taking care of them. Weather's about to cool down here and it's going to be just about the time to get these out into our garden spaces. So again, go check out some of your local nurseries and get your fall garden started. Hey gardeners, thanks for tuning in to our show today. We'll be right back at it here in just a moment. I just wanted to take a second here to highlight our regular videos and features here on the Urban Gardener channel. Our weekly garden journals. And our incredible feature visits.
Oh, there we are. Right on, everybody. Hope you all enjoyed our In the Garden segment there. Nice little fun trip down to Ashland Greenhouse with our good friend and moderator, Adam Burley, giving me a ride down there and showing helping hook me up with some good fall vegetable starts. And yeah, it's not very common that you see a greenhouse growing and supplying fall veggie starts, but give a call around in your local area and see if you might have one of those nice local greenhouses and growers, nurseries that possibly have some fall veggie starts for your garden as well too. Maybe if you don't have any or anything like that, maybe you can encourage one of your local greenhouses to make some or grow some fall veggie starts. It's always best when you get them when they're nice and grown and taken care of and got a good head start going on them. And especially, again, too, this is one of the great things about that is that I'm always just, I'm never getting the timing right done for my brassicas. So it's great to be able to go and grab some broccoli and cabbage and, even try out some of those Brussels sprouts over winter and all of that, just to be able to, to have some going that someone else has done, and I can kind of bypass making mistakes myself. So a great way to do that. And again, thanks Adam for coming in, picking me up and take me down there to get that done. It was really great afternoon after the show yesterday. So right on. And let's see here. We got Coach Shavi in the chat there. Good to see you, Coach. Great to have you back with us here today. And I see Janet McDonald, in fact, because we also got another Janet Potter with us as well, too. Thank you, Janet, for joining with us here today. And got Jersey Girl in the chat, too. And then I see Shawnee Grows joining us here. Excellent. Right on. Awesome, everybody. Again, thank you all for being here today. Like I said, we got a really great conversation coming up here in just a couple of minutes with the garden party. And if you haven't had a chance to check out our previous shows, I also mentioned earlier, too, that we had our good friend Jay with us on yesterday for the Saturday show yesterday. And we were talking all about growing a fall garden, all of that, too. So again, like I said, more how appropriate to have a nice little fun trip down to the Ashland greenhouse to get some fall veggies after that great conversation yesterday. So if you didn't get a chance to check out that conversation as well, go and check that out on our YouTube page. And I'm sure Jay will share a link for everybody in the chat for those of you who are with us live too. And last Sunday's roundtable, we had our good friends Christopher Bransdahl joining us from the mountains of Norway, and our good friend Kangstar down in Texas there as well. So always great to hang out with these guys and talk all about what they've got growing on and catch up with their gardens. And we had a really great conversation with them as well this last Sunday for our Sunday edition roundtable. And also, too, we'll just talk a little bit about what we got coming up here as well. As I mentioned also on yesterday's show, we are going to do this next Saturday for our Saturday show. We are going to do a community show. So we're going to do another one of our fun community shows where all of you are the guest. So definitely come and join with us this next Saturday for another fun community show where, like I said, we get to have all of you guys on here, an opportunity for those of you who watch the show each week to come on and introduce yourself and get, you guys are all chatting and talking with each other every week. So we get to have you on with us. And also another really great opportunity for those small channels out there, smaller garden channels and all of that, to get a nice little shout out and to come on the show as well too. So get the word out there if you can, and let some other folks know about our community show coming up this next Saturday. And then also too, on the Sunday show next week, we're going to have back with us our good friend Dr. Jeff. Dr. Jeff Pierce is going to be coming back with us again and talking more about gardening as medicine. Dr. Jeff will be joining with us every other month to have a fun conversation about all sorts of things, ways of utilizing our garden as ways to take care of our health. We all know growing a garden and growing our own veggies and all of that sort of stuff is a great way, again, to get some good nutrition. That's always good for our health, but there are all sorts of other ways in gardening that we can think about our health. And Dr. Jeff does some great talks on that. I met him at the National Heirloom Exposition last year, and he did a really great talk about gardening as medicine there. And so it's really great to be able to have him here on the show with us to share all about. And we're going to kind of piece it together and do some different topics every other month with him and really kind of dig into some of that stuff there. And it's always great to have a doctor with us that, knows what he's talking about when it comes to this sort of stuff. So again, you'll want to come and check that out next Sunday. And as well, too, we have our monthly gardening book club. This September is back to school, so it's back to school time for our monthly gardening book club, and our co-host Mr. NBC Mark Boucher Colbert will be joining with us again too. We're going to do 2 book clubs this next month, because what we're going to be doing are talking about kids books, children's gardening books for our book club this month. And so we've got a couple of really great guests that are going to be joining with us on our usual 3rd Sunday of the month. We're going to have with us Marcus Bridgewater. Marcus will be joining with us to talk about his new book that he just published this last year, See Marcus Grow, and a nice little story about little Marcus growing up in the garden with his grandma. So it's going to be a real fun conversation with Marcus on the show, talk about this great children's book that he published and put out this last year, and also, talk all about gardening and all of that. And great book, though, too. Again, perfect timing for me as well, too, as I've just became a grandfather this last year as well, too. So, this will be my first gardening book for my granddaughter. So also a great book, gardening with your grandparents. So great children's book to be featured on our 3rd Sunday this next month. And then on the 4th Sunday, so again, we're doing 2 books for our back to school monthly gardening book. And so for the 4th Sunday of the month, next month, we will have with us Dr. Vikram Baliga talking about his book, Plants to the Rescue. Really, really great book here for a little bit older than the kids than the See Marcus Grows, and just a really, really great book, full of lots of great fun science and information and all of that for the kids in Plants to the Rescue. And also Vikram is also a professor at Texas Tech. He teaches agriculture and all of that to college age students as well too. So this will be a really fun conversation to talk all about gardening education with Vikram. All the way from the little kids like Mark. Mark is a teacher as well too. He teaches gardening at a school up in Portland. So we'll be able to talk about kids, and then all the way up to some higher education discussions about gardening as well too with Vikram. So you'll definitely want to set your notifications to be notified of those upcoming live streams and come and join those really, really awesome conversations this next month for our monthly gardening book club. 3rd Sunday and 4th Sunday of this next month, September, our back to school book clubs. Right on. Excellent, everybody. It looks like we've got everybody in with us here today. So I think it's about time for our garden roundtable. So all right. It's party time, everybody. We've got with us the Garden Party Podcast. Let's welcome in our guests today for our roundtable. First off, we've got Destin, Texas garden guy, with us here. And as well, we also got with us Desarae, garden with Dezz. And we also got with us Phil from Phil's Figs. Awesome to have you all here today with us. Great to have you here for our Sunday roundtable, everybody. Everybody,
what's up?
Okay,
what's up?
All right, there you go. All right. So now here we go. Before we get moving along any further here today, and I knew this was going to come up, and I got a message, and I didn't get back to you guys about the message earlier, but I was just going to ask you real quick though. I did my first appearance on the garden party this last June last year, and do you guys remember who else did their first appearance on the garden party? On that show, can you guys remember?
Was it Ryan?
Was it Ryan? No, I don't know if it was Ryan.
Who was it?
Let's see. Oh, I got you guys stumped. Well, I'm going to tell you what. Here's the thing. Now, when I invited you guys on, I also knew that you guys have also done I mean, the three of you guys, one of that's fun about your podcast, I'll just say it's fun. You guys got a good little group there. The three of you guys are joining up regularly and all of that. But the other first time guest on that show with me there that last year was also
Josh. It was Josh.
your new co-host.
Josh.
Of
Yeah.
the
Okay.
Party.
Yay!
Yeah, he's got his food.
Dude.
Our
Look at that
whole
awesome shirt.
party is here.
Okay, I feel so
Yeah.
much better. Okay, so to let y'all know, like, so we brought Josh in. Josh has been on a bunch of times, and we finally decided to make him a co-host of the podcast.
He's
And-
kind of phenomenal.
Yes,
Yeah, he
and
is.
we were doing the group chat for this episode of Let's. We're doing the group chat for this, and I thought Josh was in the chat, and then I got the thumbnail, and there's everybody but Josh, and I was like, oh my god, we forgot about Josh. I was like,
Yeah.
I feel so bad. I feel so bad.
My. And
So-
here's the thing though, too, is that right from the get-go, when I invited you guys and I got the date all set up with the three of you, I went and got a hold of Josh already, and I was like, hey, I know you are the newest addition to the Garden Party podcast, so let's do a little surprise for everybody and bring you on the show there.
Oh, thank
And
God.
I knew that you guys are such thoughtful people and supportive folks and everything, that when I gave it, that eventually you were going to say, hey, wait a minute, why don't we have Josh
Well,
on
that's what
the
happened, and then you just didn't
Yeah.
respond.
And
So
I
was
didn't
like,
respond at all.
And then I
I
was like,
even
oh
sent-
no.
I didn't really know what to say without giving it away at all. So
Well,
I even
I-
sent Destin a message on Friday, and I was like, he never said anything.
I
texted
texted
him,
Josh.
I know you guys must have hated
no.
me for a minute, but
I texted Josh. I was
I
like,
knew it
dude,
was
I
all
feel
gonna
so
work
bad.
out.
I feel so bad.
Josh,
Your mic's
are you
off.
muted?
Are you muted, Josh?
Yeah, are you muted, Josh?
Josh, you're
Uh-oh.
muted.
You got him here, but I can't hear him.
That
Yeah. Right on. What a fun little surprise here, though, too.
was good.
Yes.
You got us. We got
There he
got.
is.
That's so
Yeah.
funny. Oh my goodness.
We did got. I love
You're
it.
right on. Excellent. Right on. Excellent, guys. Well, so thank you all for being here. Really great to have you. This is actually the first time. This is the most guests I've ever had on at once, though, too. So this is the first time we've done a 5-frame discussion here on our round table. So
good,
we've really
right?
got a
Doesn't it feel
true
good? It's like-
round table today.
Well,
You look up like, oh, the Brady Bunch, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, that was my thought. I was like, oh, he's probably never had that many people on, and he's like, nope, I can't do a fourth guest. There's no way. I'm just gonna leave it this. And I've been in that situation before. It's like I'm not going back and redoing a thumbnail. Like it's hard. It takes a long time. So I was like, oh, that must be what it is, but it's okay. So I was like, Josh, I feel bad about doing this without you, man. Can you do these? Oh, I'm bowed up. I can't come on. I was like, okay. So I feel so much better now. I feel so much.
I was
better.
trying to play it off.
I know. I was gonna say again too. I was like, oh man, it's gonna be. I knew eventually that you guys were gonna question it all and everything, but
It was gonna be the first thing I brought up. It was gonna be the first thing I brought up was saying this is almost everybody. That was gonna be the first. I swear to God, it's gonna be the first thing.
That's why I had to jump in. I knew it. Like I
Yes,
said,
awesome.
I knew it was coming. Right on. So again, just like you guys do here on your show, let's do a little round table introduction for you guys so you can introduce yourselves to everybody here watching. And let's go ahead and we'll work clockwise. So I'm going to do this right up here.
Okay, what's going on? Hey guys,
Oh, okay.
ladies
Oh,
first.
Dez.
Ladies first. Ladies
Me
Ladies
first.
first.
There we go.
This is
Dez.
at the 1 o'clock.
Clockwise.
Hey everybody, I am Dezz. I live in Austin, Texas. I am gardening with Dezz online. Most of what I talk about is silly little insects or wildlife in your yard. I love to help people get over their fear of things like wasps and spiders and learn how they can work to their benefit in the garden. And my big news that we've already shared on our podcast is that I started college at Texas Tech last week full time.
Oh, yes.
I'm going for horticulture, and Vikram, who will be on the podcast later, like I guess a couple of
Yeah.
weeks. Yeah.
He's
He
a
is one of my
future book club.
professors.
That is so awesome.
He's
Excellent.
my friend and one of my professors. So
I love that. I love that.
That is so
much.
great.
it's so fun. It's a little overwhelming, but I'm so excited.
So what's he like, real quick before we move on though, what's he like in class? Have you had taken a class yet with him?
Honestly, I haven't taken, he's not one of my direct professors this semester. I'm sure maybe he will be later on, but he will be like talking in another course that I have, like maybe as a guest. But for the most part, you know, and I've been lucky enough that I've sat in on some things he's done for the Master Gardener program and like presentations he's given, and he's really, really knowledgeable. He's a super great guy to listen to.
And he is exactly the same person in person.
100%.
Even more fun in person. So
yeah.
And you know, and that's what I find every time I get to meet someone that I've watched online through the gardening community, you know, when I get to meet them in person, is that, you know, we're just genuine people out here sharing our gardening experiences, and it really comes through when we get to meet folks in person as well.
Absolutely. More the merrier.
Yeah. And you guys have got to meet each other as well too, right?
Yeah.
Well,
except for Josh.
I met Phil, but
I've got to meet Josh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. They're in the Kakalakis. They're in the Kakalakis together.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
I'm south of him in North Carolina, but he's north of me in South Carolina. So let's figure that out.
Really?
Think about that one for a little while.
Yeah, I know. I'm going to. Yeah, I have to find a map now.
It makes me think like North Carolina and South Carolina like a yin yang symbol. It's like not.
That's what it is.
Wait a minute.
That's what it is.
Excellent. How about you, Phil?
What up, everybody? It's your favorite plant parent and regular parent, growing fig trees and other fruit trees, other things, but figs are my bread and butter. And so I think everybody deserves to grow a fig tree. And I'm stoked to be back on here, man. Oh, I'm out of Wilmington, North Carolina, too. So right on the beach.
On the beach. Right on. Excellent. Yeah, and I even went and picked me a couple of figs from my fig tree here today.
Oh, awesome.
Yes,
producing so many wonderful, delicious figs off of it.
That's what it's about, is going out and parsing food right from a planter tree. That's what it's about.
Yeah. And I've got more figs I'll probably be getting here in a couple of weeks too, because I'm going down actually and doing my first live on location show down in Northern California for the Fig Hunters Fig Fest down in Northern California. So that's going to be fun. So
we'll get hang out with him and the Ivy Organics crew.
Yeah. Hopefully we'll have all them up there and a bunch of other folks as well too. So yeah, it should be a fun event. It's gonna be my first time trying to do something live on location with a little audience in front of us as well too. So it ought to be a different experience, but I'm looking forward to it. But you know, it'd be great also though too, again, bring back a couple of new fig varieties I can try in the garden.
Oh yeah, guaranteed.
Yeah. All right, let's wrap right around to Josh. Oh, I'm doing this backwards. I don't know. Okay, I'm just Josh. Let's get to Josh.
I'm here, full circle. Yeah, I just love the description that was there earlier, and I like that from trellis to firmware. Josh debugs. That's pretty good. I like that.
Mm-hmm.
That's some good ones. So Josh Gardens here, the Plant Techie Online, and I have just been growing a lot of fruit trees. I want to educate. My goal in life is to teach people how to grow their own food, to empower them that it's not difficult, and really that anyone can grow is sort of my phrase, because you not only grow food, you grow through the process, you grow in relationship with each other, and you grow internally, because trust me, when squirrels eat all your pears on your Asian pear tree, there's an internal rage that grows inside of you. So I'm sure we can talk squirrels later. But no, I'm just excited to be here and talk fruit and growing.
Right on. Excellent. I don't think the squirrels get to your garden, do they, Dez?
They don't, guys. My squirrels don't bother my stuff. I don't know what to tell you
That's
guys.
That's what it is. No,
I honestly, they don't eat my vegetables. They don't eat my fruit. They bury peanuts in the garden, but I just keep them fed and watered across the yard and in the yard and in the garden, and they're fine. I don't know. This morning, I'm sorry. This morning I have skylights up here, and I was up here doing my homework, and my the one I see the most, he was up here licking the dew off of the skylight this morning. It was
Hey.
so fun. I loved it.
Hey, real quick, Enoch. I want to
Yeah.
ask you a question because we both use StreamYard, so we do the garden party on StreamYard, and you use StreamYard. It's
Yeah.
giving me the option. It says I can stream this to my audience too. Can I? Will that work like that as well? Can I? The way we can get it out there.
If you want to, yeah, you totally can. Yeah, the StreamYard allows us that option. You gotta go in and set the setting. I always have it open in case folks want to.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know it was an option. That's interesting. It's a new feature, I think, right?
Yeah, they've had it for I think it's something newer this last year, definitely.
Okay,
that they've been
interesting.
doing. Yeah. But it's not one that you have to go find it in the settings, I think, too. So it's not really pushed or put out there, I think, in as far as the features that they show that you can do.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. It's kind of fun. I've had a couple of people take advantage of that and stream it out and everything. So it's kind of interesting.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I'll definitely share it out. Well, awesome.
Right
Well, yeah. I'm next in line, so I'm Destin,
right.
Texas garden guy. I'm out of Houston, Texas. Enjoying some rain over here in the Houston area. So I'm bragging a little bit. Enjoying this, slow down in the heat. It's been so hot these last couple of months. Ready for some cooler weather.
Yeah.
I'm probably just jinxing it. Looks like in the next week or so, we're going to drop down to like the lower 90s, which would be nice.
Right.
I'll be happy just to have some cooler mornings so I can get out and about and get some stuff done in the garden before it gets too hot. That's been my thing. If I can leave a little bit later for work and get some stuff done and go out and water the garden and pick some stuff before I leave for work, it's been nice.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm not much of a morning person, but it's this time of year I have to. And it's you just got to get yourself up. You got to get out there early before things get going, because even for me up here, we've been dealing with some stretches of 100 plus and not dipping down too much. I think we're around 90 though too yesterday. So we did get a little bit of a cool off, but we're looking right back up there again too here in the next couple more days. So we still got another heat wave or so coming before the cooler nights start approaching.
That's awesome.
It was 103 with the heat index here on Friday.
Ooh.
Oh man.
And I literally watched these rain clouds form above like my house, like a little north. And then they started raining 3 blocks south of me 2 days in a row. I was so upset.
Mario level.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Why skip me?
I know.
Right.
What did I do?
Oh man. Well, we've actually, for us here in Southern Oregon, we've had a couple of just really nasty storms that have come through here. So we've had more rain, I think, this summer than I think we've ever really had since I've been down here during the summertime. But it comes in the form of a really nasty storm, versus just
that's like North Carolina here.
Through. Yeah.
Like every 4 p.m. Right off the water. Once the water breaks like that 70 degree marker, 4 p.m. every day, you get this thunderstorm that comes and it dumps for an hour, nice little nitrogen boost, and then it scoots on. But the heat broke for me. I think it broke for you too, Josh, right?
Oh yeah.
Where I woke up and it's like low 60s in the morning. I should have an outdoor shower, so I'll go outside and it's like brisk and you get under the hot water in the shower. It's amazing.
Brag much?
We made it. Yeah, I built it from scratch, man.
Oh man.
But it's nice to have a break but have it still get warm, so like things are still ripening, which is nice.
That's awesome.
So jealous.
For the record, I could have an outdoor shower. I would just be putting on a watch list afterwards because like everybody's got a 2-story house around me.
Well, it's all of a sudden the HOA chat just blows up and you're like, whoops.
Yeah. I'm already pushing it. So.
Already pushing the rules.
Where I live, the rain sort of breaks around us because we're on like a higher part, almost like a hill. And so our town, it just sort of comes up and then it just breaks. So we're always missing storms. And because we have a lot of Indian, we joke it's because of Indian burial ground. That's why the rain keeps missing us. But that's sort of a local rumor.
It's like a rain shadow.
Yeah.
You need to do the rain dance.
The way our valley is though too, like it gets so much heat like during the hot time that if we do have anything that can come through or whatever, the valley just pushes so much heat off of it that it keeps all of the clouds and things coming around the valley all the time. So
Wow.
yeah, that's really interesting because you'll see the clouds coming through and around, but it's clear right up above us most of the time. So but
Cool.
every now and then one comes through. In fact, like I was saying, I had a real doozy of a storm that really wiped out all of my equipment. I lost all of my electronics basically. In fact, I got this picture. Check this out. This picture here was a picture taken of this storm.
Oh,
And you see that lightning strike, and you see all of that water dumping down and all of that right there. That's on top of my house, basically.
Wow.
That was my neighborhood right there. And
That's crazy.
and from what I heard from the folks who handle the internet and all of that, they had a bunch of like routers and modems and all that sort of stuff that got fried out and everything. Because I come in there and I'm like something's wrong with my internet. I can't get anything going, and they're like, oh yeah, bring it in, we'll get you a new one. It's from the storm that we just had. And then after I do that, I noticed this on my computer. Check this out. Like something blew up inside of my computer. This was my editing computer. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Like I lost everything other than the camera. Other than the camera was fine, but I lost all of it.
Did you pop that open? That looks like an exploding battery to me.
Something.
Yeah.
Past experience.
Some sort of
same.
batteries in the back of the thing, and I pulled it off,
Ah.
and it didn't seem like it.
Okay.
So it's something inside of there. Because I asked a friend too as well. Like what would be it?
Inside the computer?
Yeah, well, look at it. It's like it's right off the front, right there.
Like literally put that as far away from you as you can get it.
Right, exactly. It's gone now. I've gotten enough people to warn me, like, yeah, keep that away. That thing could catch fire anytime.
Oh my God.
I did have a friend that one time they had an lightning strike, and it fried all of their TVs and all of their computers in their house, and they lost power for a week because the transformer blew so badly in their neighborhood. And I mean, it was thousands of dollars in replacing things from a lightning strike. It's horrible when that happens.
Yep.
I mean,
right.
People need to invest in like I get the battery backups instead of like the power strips don't work. I mean, I get I can pay like $50 on Amazon for like a good one, and it keeps my Mac from like shutting on and off with our power blips. They're like $50. So like put one like in your living room, put one like in your office. Just keep that stuff plugged in to keep your stuff from getting fried. Because I was having issues like that.
So they work. So it works not just as a backup, but as a like a surge protector
as an actual surge protector. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, they're not.
I have to look into that then.
It's a good investment. I mean, Josh is the techie guy. He knows about that.
You can run batteries in line, so you're just running off the battery, and then the battery's being charged, and therefore you're sort of separated from the grid.
Oh,
smart.
That'd be good. That's a good idea.
That's super smart.
I did lose one. I did have one show last year that I couldn't do because the power went out like right before before I was going on air.
Oh yeah.
So that would be a good idea to have something like that keep me running, right?
Yeah.
We're just glad you're okay. Nobody got hurt, right?
Right.
For real.
Right. Yeah, that storm was a wild ride for sure.
Usually if your computer gets fried, it's time for a new one anyway.
That's right. That's right.
That was a good excuse,
That's the universe throwing you a sign. Oh, you know what? Look how
luckily I got a really great community here with our community here and all of that, and most everybody stepped up and helped me get a new computer because I didn't have the budget for it. It sure hit at the wrong time.
Oh, awesome!
And so so folks stepped up and helped me get all set up and get things back and running here. And so so thankful for such a great gardening community to be able to help and deal with all of that. But oh man, it would suck so bad when you gotta, when you're trying to keep a good show rolling and everything, and it really interrupted everything for almost a month for us. So it was pretty bad. Right on, everybody. Let's see here. So it's been a little while since we had you on, and then we'll kind of go around same order and all of that. But I know, Dezz, you did kind of let us know that you're getting started with those classes. Anything else kind of new going on for you and your garden and all of that this year, or since we talked to you last?
So, honestly, I have not been out in the garden as much as I really would have liked to have been because we've talked about this on our podcast, but unfortunately I lost my little garden bestie, my little dog, in the middle of the summer in July. And it kind of just,
Yeah.
And then we were rolling into, I was like getting ready to go to school. So I had a lot of stuff I was getting ready to like, just apply, enrolling in college and getting all the paperwork together and just trying to maintain, because it got, after we had our big floods here in Texas, it just got really dry at my house. Like in the Austin area, we didn't really have much more rain. So I've had a lot of pests, and then I've just been trying to be careful with my watering and water enough to keep my soil active, but not focus too much on trying to force tomato plants to grow in 103 degrees. They're not going to really set fruit. They're not going to really thrive. The peppers are doing great. But otherwise, I've just been trying to, I don't know, lay low. I'm waiting on those overnight temperatures to be consistently dropped so I can actually start planting. Here soon, I'm actually going to have my second round of like beans and cucumbers going out into the garden, but it's been like 103 with the heat index still, and that's just too much. That's too much for a seedling. It will not thrive out there like that. So
yeah, it's really, and like you said, I've got a couple of varieties of tomato plants that are a little more heat tolerant, and they're doing somewhat, and I just say somewhat okay, so, and a lot of the other ones have been trying to set fruit on our little dips of temperature we get about a week or so, where it's, down there in a good range for them. So they'll try to set fruit and everything, and then comes the heat again and just fries them all out. And so it's been kind of up and down as far as those go. Peppers are going pretty good. And also, sorry to hear about your dog. That's just so unfortunate. It's the worst thing to be losing our pets and everything. I know what it's like. I've lost a couple of cats and I'm a cat guy, and I've lost a couple of those, and it just breaks your heart like you can't even believe,
It does.
And yeah. Oh, look at that.
Sorry, you mentioned the word cat.
What a cutie.
This
is me petting the cat.
Yes.
Sorry.
Oh,
it was a trigger word. When you say that, I immediately have to go.
Mm-hmm. I wouldn't mind having my cat George with a J for everyone out there, but I can't have him in here when I'm doing the show, because he starts rubbing around on the camera tripods and all that sort of stuff, and starts shaking the cameras and all that sort of stuff. But oh man.
Well, last week I was I haven't posted as much because like all week long this past week, I've been in a massive 4-day conference that started at like 8:30 or 9 in the morning and went until 6 to 8 p.m. For gardening. So even though I've not been posting as much, I've been like educating the heck out of myself this summer. I've read some really great books this summer. So I'm always in pursuit of more knowledge and more learning that I can share online, and I'm just really excited about going to college, guys. I'm taking my first real live horticulture class this season, and I got the textbook.
Oh wow. Look at that thing. Wow. That's a juicy book right there.
It's a real big old book. I'm excited about it though, because I love research and I love learning as much as I can about a topic. And like I'm at that level of, as we all are in gardening, nerdiness, where I'm like, how can I turn this into something forever? Yeah,
exactly. That's so great. I love that journey that you're on, and it can't wait to see how all of that goes for you and everything. Book recommendation though too. Last month's book club, we had Thor Hansen on, who wrote a book called The Triumph of Seeds. Just a great book, man. Talking about kind of the evolution of seeds throughout, and telling a bunch of like historical storylines and all that sort of stuff. Just this great book. I love that one so much. I'm recommending that to everybody, and especially if you want to nerd out on some seed history and evolution and all of that. Just a great book. So check that out for sure.
Yeah, like one of the speakers at our conference this week, and one of our speakers at our conference this week was the guy who is known as the father of the Svalbard Global Seed Bank in Norway. He gave an amazing talk this week, talking about everything that went into building those vaults in the in the mountainside in the Arctic, and talked about how like some seeds are viable up to 20,000 years at those temperatures, and they chose that location because of its remoteness, and it's
Mhm.
it's not as likely to have events like flooding or fires or things that will take out these seeds. And it's a safety security, it's like a social security or whatever, a safety security box. What do you call
Yeah.
that? Like at the bank.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
for
Yeah,
countries all
deposit,
across
like a
the
deposit
world,
box.
and it saves plants from going extinct, so it's like ensuring the
Mhm.
global food supply. And by
Yeah.
the end of it, he had moved every single gardener that was listening. Everybody was just so choked up. His legacy is so beautiful, so if you haven't looked into
Yeah.
it, please go do that. I mean,
Yeah,
he's
there's a
just
little
doing amazing work.
Yeah, there's a little bit of discussion on that seed bank there too. There's another really great one here in the States in Colorado as well too that
Yeah,
he talked with somebody about for
Oh,
the book as well. But yeah, all sorts of
cool.
great stuff. Yeah, that's great. I'd love to be able to make a trip and go see that seed vault though. Wouldn't that be amazing? I
I
mean, I
couldn't
know the
do it. There's
Colorado
polar
one's a
bears
little
out there.
closer, but I would just love to go to that one up there for sure. That would be amazing.
I
Yeah,
met a
there's a
person that went
reason
up to
why.
Svalbard,
Really?
and yeah, he said he was kayaking on one of the glacier lakes there, and he's like, it might as well be 300 feet visibility in the water.
Yeah.
I
And
just,
Yeah.
I just,
you see pictures, and it looks like something that the Forerunners made in Halo, the video game, because it's like very futuristic looking, and they
It is.
maintain it meticulously. It's kind of fascinating. I mean,
It's
right? Like,
super fascinating.
Yeah,
I
there's a
imagine,
lot that goes into those.
I imagine this guy having like a Swedish accent. Is that wrong or is that right?
No, he's an He's an
correct. Well,
American.
Okay.
oh,
Yeah.
The
Svalbard
guy
is
that
part of Norway.
it
Okay.
is, but the guy that's known as the father of the seed, vault,
Mhm.
he is actually from America. He's an American citizen.
Nice.
Yeah.
And he
Famous.
worked at the federal level at one point, I believe. I don't want to misspeak about all of his accomplishments, but he's got a really cool Wikipedia page you can check out.
Mhm.
But he's a very spoken and humble man for the amazing thing that he's done for the planet.
Yeah.
And I just highly recommend watching or listening or learning about him. He's so cool.
Yeah, and
That's
also
awesome.
too, and that's a great point on what the importance of having great relationships with these other countries around the world and all that sort of stuff, because that's exactly what went into that vault.
Mhm.
There is the different countries and different really like this gentleman, very
It is.
knowledgeable people about that from all over who came together to put that vault up there together. Because again, there's other seed banks everywhere, all around the world as well too, but this one's just in a prime location. They all got together and said, this is where we got to have it, right?
Mhm. Yeah. I mean, next to giant ice sheets, big glaciers, polar bears walking around. I mean, this place is absolutely futuristic. Like, there's sci-fi novels that, these dystopian novels, like we lost our global food supply and, somebody has to
Right.
go up to the vault. It's so cool. I love it. Anyway, that was only one of my many nerdy moments this week.
I love it. It's so great. Excellent. How about you, Phil? What do you got going on? Anything new since we've seen you last time, or how's
Oh my
all
God.
the
I'm entering
fig
like
forest
fig
going?
ripening season. Yeah. So we've had some like crazy wet weather that's not necessarily great for figs, especially in the south where we start getting fig rust that I have to balance because we have draining soil and it's good for wet weather, but it doesn't hold the water after the rain goes away. So when we have a dry stretch, it kind of
Yeah.
stresses the figs out. And so we've been seeing a lot of fig rust, but also after the rust with the sunshine and stuff, we're getting these nice dry conditions where I'm getting some really good ripe figs, which is awesome because my heavy hitters are starting to ripen around now and they go later in the year because they just need more hang time. So you're talking about like my black Madeira, my white Madeira, my Coldadoms, like all of these ones that start tasting like rich berry jam are starting to ripen. And I just posted a few online. So I'm really getting excited. Because it's fig ripening season. It's more for me. And then and the rest of the fig community, we're starting to get our talks together. So like this is where, playoff season is for figs.
Yeah. That's great. I can't wait to go to this little figs festival down there. I love to be able to get and travel out and go see the ones you guys are putting on as well too.
Oh,
that would be so much fun, but we'll have to hope for that down the road, I suppose. But that would be so fun to get together and go check.
You let me know. You get free surf lessons for life with me if you come out here too. So
excellent. That's right.
You get figs and waves for sure.
That's worth it. I'm a little jealous.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, right on. And Josh, newest addition to the garden party, man. How's that been going, huh? You been having fun over there doing that, hanging out with these guys?
First of all, I've been getting schooled by them. I'll be honest. So they're a bunch of pros, and I'm learning. I'm still a newbie. I never heard what heavy hitters are for figs. So Phil, you need like a category of heavy hitters on your site. It's like, these are the heavy hitter figs.
Right.
I like that.
These are the ones that are worth growing anywhere in a container. We can talk about that today.
Okay. I need a full description of that. But yeah, since the last time we met, obviously garden party co-host has been awesome. I've learned a ton, not just from the team here, but just from the cool guests that we've had on, and the community. I mean, the comments are really wild. It's sort of fun to see them stream in, and I mean, you get to experience that all the time, so that's exciting. But this year for me has been all about lessons learned. I learned a lot. You can't have too much of a good thing when it comes to fruit. I had like hundreds of pears, and I've been eating dried pears every day for the last month. I have this big old sack of dried pears. So yes, guess I'll eat that for lunch with my lunch today. So,
you have a dehydrator?
Yeah, I've got like a 9-tray dehydrator. I did like 2 full batches. I've been giving fruit roll-ups to all my friends' kids, being like, here, you want some pear fruit roll-up? And you can have too much of a good. The other thing I learned this year was that my wife and I do a lot of TNR for cats. If you're not familiar with that, it's trap, neuter, release. So we've probably but we've neutered or spayed 100 cats now over the past few years, and we trap them, we hold them, we get them spayed, neutered, and released. Well,
you don't do it yourself, do you?
Yeah, I was wondering.
I was going to ask. What kind of tool? It's in your basement.
I was going to say, who holds the cat and who does the?
We're practicing.
Not a DIY feel.
It's not a DIY.
Good answer.
I got a guy.
Obviously, we've ended up with lots of cats that have somehow got saved, like the little one I showed you. But so this year's my first year starting with an outdoor cat. So we did a lot of research. Like, I built this enclosure. It's basically like a she shed for a cat, and acclimating an outdoor cat, keeping it safe, bringing it in an enclosure at night. And what I found is my cat really loves voles, which is I'm very excited about. But just ignores the squirrels. Like, we'll literally watch the squirrels from a distance, which is really what I was hoping for.
I actually have insight on this with squirrels, because squirrels have been my nemesis for a very long time with figs. And
send them to my house.
You're looking to a mongoose.
I could. Right. I'm trying to figure out how what's shipping look like for a squirrel. Anyway, I teamed up with Birdfee for a bird feeder that has these cool HD cameras, and I set it up, and it's awesome. But the majority of my footage that these cameras are capturing are, you guessed it, squirrels. Oh man. But let me tell you something. Guess what are leaving my figs alone now that I've installed this giant bird feeder?
Yeah.
The figs are now for me again. And so this is kind of like one of those things where Dezz was like, I've been feeding the squirrels peanuts and they don't touch everything else. I'm like, she has a point. If I'm feeding the squirrels something that's more preferable than figs, I get the figs. And so you may need to think strategically, like, I don't know. What's better? You got to ask the squirrel, hey, what do you want more than this pear out there, Josh?
Yeah,
and
this
so
is the
like,
solution, I think. The best one I've heard as well, too, even for a few years, other folks who say, like, just take care of them, because you can't get rid of them. And not only can you not get rid of them, you can try to set any sort of trap you want. You can try to set anything, whatever, and they will figure it out like they are puzzle solvers. Well,
this is what Jay just told me. I planted American persimmons in my yard, Half of them I went to like a grafting project that I worked with Josh on. Josh sent me scions and practicing with persimmons because they're not easy to graft, but I had some take with the scions. And the other ones are American. I was like, you know what? I'm going to save these American ones for the squirrels to try to deter them. They're fine if they make it to the ground to me, but I have Japanese varieties, so which are like 4 times the size. And so like if I can guide them elsewhere, then they will leave my figs alone. And that's been the new treatment in the past few months. So
feed and water them. I'm serious. Get them that fruit and nut bird seed too, like the one that's got like the little dried fruit and the peanuts and
the squirrel
corn
equivalent to
kernel.
Fancy Feast. Like,
you know, the thing about it is that the corn kernels take them a little longer to eat, but they love them because they're sweet, and so they'll sit there and they'll just be nibbling for a long. You just keep those suckers busy.
Yeah.
Like, here, eat that. Leave us alone.
This lady or guy, they're nice. They just
we have a bird feeder, and I feed the squirrels a squirrel mix every week, and I throw all my extra fruit that falls that's bad. I throw it over on that side of the yard. This is the other side, and yet they still go after the fruit in the trees. So every morning I go out and I pick up the apples they knock down on the ground because that's the ones I get to keep. Are the ones that they decided are, you know, oh, that one's got a
You
bruise.
probably need feeders in different
This is
locations.
for you,
You probably
peasants.
got a big enough space, right? Where they're just like, you might have to have them all in different locations.
Have y'all read the book? If you give a mouse a cookie, if you give a mouse a cookie,
Yes.
he's gonna want milk. If you give him milk, he's gonna want you to read him a story. If you read him a story, he's gonna want you to make him a bed. It's like if you give him an inch, they'll take a mile. They're rats with furry tails. We saw the capybaras. I sent these guys a video of capybaras. They look really cute and cuddly until they're attacking a lady on the side of a pond. We saw a video of that.
It's the size of a boar.
Yeah,
those
those
are
are huge.
Large,
And
with
they
very
are
large
rodents.
teeth, giant teeth.
That was terrible.
Oh my.
I didn't say that every squirrel had, you know, I think they read vibes. That's all I'm saying. So
They read vibes.
you
there
know,
are lots of different varieties of them. I'm sure some they have different behavior patterns
They
between
do.
different
We have a really interesting
brown
variety of
squirrels are
here
tough.
that look like
You do?
skunks, but they're not. Yeah, they're these giant. What are they called? I'm blanking on it. They're huge, and they have like a white nose. They're all black. And what are they called? Fox squirrels. We have fox squirrels.
Oh,
here.
I love fox squirrels with the ears.
But not in my backyard. But I have the regular ones. But anyway,
I
I'm just
mean,
excited
honestly-
that big.
I would invest in a mongoose, Josh. A mongoose.
No,
go.
I have
Oh,
a great
gosh.
story about mongoose that's not good.
I saw a photograph or a post someone did recently, and it was a mongoose in a little pit with a cobra, and they were like, "Do
I
not
know it.
feel sorry for the mongoose," is what the caption was. Don't feel sorry for the mongoose. Feel sorry for the cobra.
Right?
That's what that's their shtick is that they can take down snakes.
Yeah.
So it's like the thing about mongoose. I guess that might be the
Is it
plural.
mongoose?
I guess. Anyway, we were on Maui once, and a couple of years ago, and we were driving around through the rainforest on the road to Hana, and we kept seeing these things like run off into the jungle, and eventually Jeremy was like, "Are those?" That's my husband, by the way. He was like, "Is that a mongoose?" And so I started looking it up, and so when English went over to Hawaii, they brought with them, crops, and then they also brought rats. Well, then they had this bright, brilliant idea to control the rats by adding mongoose onto the Hawaiian Islands. Well, the problem is that rats are nocturnal and mongoose are awake during the day. They're diurnal. And so what ended up happening is that they just had an explosion of mongoose and an explosion of rats and no predators to take care of either of them.
Oh my.
So it's really kind of an interesting story in a way.
Yeah.
And just every single plant that is on any of the Hawaiian Islands and any species out there has been carried like by a bird or drifted on the sea at one point in order to arrive there, or has been brought by a person, which is incredibly interesting. And there are scientists out there that are just trying to keep those plants that are native to Hawaii alive and keep them from going extinct, which is incredibly interesting.
Yeah.
Sorry about my rabbit holes.
No problem. Yeah, no, the natives are really important. We learn more and more about the importance of those sort of plants in each of our different, climates and areas where we live and all of that. And like you said, you take away something from an environment, especially a predator or something like that, and that really has some large scale downward effects to the overall, ecosystem. So, it's great. It's good to be aware of those things and push for larger places and organizations to be doing things, our governments and all of that to be doing things to help keep natives and all of these natural predators where they should be.
Yeah, it's really interesting.
Real quick here, I just want to say thank you to Texas Organic TV. I saw their super chat a little bit earlier. Thank you so much for that. And Destin, I didn't get to you quite yet. So what's going on, man? How you been since we saw you last? I know you got you got like a new job going on now. You got all sorts of new stuff happening, right?
Yeah. So, I mean, for the past 10 years, I've worked in the electrical industry, and then I've been doing the gardening stuff on the side, and I finally moved into the green industry. I work for a company that makes, specialty plant fertilizers and stuff like that. And so it's been awesome getting to travel around, meet new people in the industry, nurseries, landscapers, hardware stores, a lot of cool stuff. And, that's one of the reasons why we brought Josh on, not only because, we love having him on, but he also helps out so much with, some of the setting up. And if I'm not on the road, like I've had to do podcast episodes streaming from a Buc-ee's parking lot, and Josh can, pull it up and we're good to go. Like he's been, helping me out with a lot of that. So it's been great. And it's been fantastic. But we took a little bit of a hiatus on guests. We haven't skipped a week. So it's been over 2.5 years now going on with never missed a Wednesday. But we're ramping up for fall and getting everybody excited I said a fall garden talk yesterday actually, talking about fall gardening. And
go ahead. Can you hear me?
We can hear you.
Okay. Oh my, what is going on again?
I think that lightning strike hit your webcam.
I got yikes.
But a lot
disconnect and reconnect.
Right. So many people get frustrated in the spring when it starts getting hot quick with their spring gardens, and they kind of get frustrated and don't realize that, if I had to recommend someone who wanted to garden for the first time when to start, I'd say the fall. I say the fall is such a more mild temperature, less pest pressure. You don't have to water as frequently. So like fall gardening is the best. It is so much easier and laid back.
What's going on?
And especially for me, because I get to grow a lot of stuff over winter and in the fall that I can't grow during the spring and summer, like a lot of my brassicas and stuff like that. Like that's a really good time for us down here, at least in my area. There you are. You're growing those leafy greens because they just go to seed so fast whenever we grow them in the spring and summer.
Yes.
Yeah, for sure. That reminds me, I did start cilantro in my hydroponic system inside to go outside when the temperatures drop enough. So that is something that I kind of utilize my little countertop guy for, especially here in Texas. But I wanted to ask Destin, you've gotten into cactus or succulents a lot lately, I've noticed.
Yeah, with my nursery, because I have my nursery license and everything too with the Texas Department of Agriculture and everything, and so to sell plants, I've been growing fig trees and pomegranates and everything you can think of that can propagate, and it's just very space consuming, and it requires more water, more shade, and more protection during the winter. And so I've been moving more into the cactus area of the horticulture. But I mean, I get in different things every year. I grew 2,000 desert roses from seed starting in the spring, so this year I'm starting cactus from seed and I'm growing stuff like that. So it's, as a person who's into horticulture, you're constantly, going in and out of like stuff, like Phil, Phil is dead set. I mean, he cannot grow anything. He cannot specialize in anything but figs, But
he's like a geologist.
I know, but I'm ADD. I'm ADD, so I'm constantly going in and out of like what I'm interested in growing. You know, I still I like to learn more about different plants and everything. And it's been cactus is a lot. People think it is low maintenance, but there are certain things like here in the Houston area because it rains so much. You know, you have to master like, you know, how much moisture it can something handle, because I've had stuff rot because it's harder than it looks.
Oh yeah.
Well, to your point, and I say this a lot because I do have like 8 or 9 citrus trees. I have my pomegranates and things. I call it cross training. So if you have a specialty that you love, one of the best things you can do is try to grow something else to gain perspective. And then when you come back and circle back, you're like, oh, because it may have taught you a small little nuance or idiosyncrasy about the plant you were trying to grow that may have been thwarted before, but you find something that's related to it. You know, like I had a really fun time propagating other things like mulberry trees because their figs are in the greater mulberry family. And so kind of understanding what propagates well, how it propagates, how it can grow at a certain rate can bring you back full circle to something else. So like the way Destin can go into like these desert roses was such a gateway too for him to move into other types of cacti and things, because all of a sudden he gained perspective. But then he goes and he looks like holy cow, look how I can do these plumerias now. So like it's really, and then if you guys subscribe to him, you get to see him discover these things along the way too. But
it's very humbling, very humbling.
It's humbling, but it's like that is in essence like methodical discovery in horticulture too.
Yeah.
And now I'm a rock guy too. I like rocks too now. Like Phil.
He's rock tumbling. See, I'm rubbing
he
off
is rock
on
tumbling.
geology.
You need a branded rock hammer. Is what you need. Texas Garden Guy rock hammer. Oh my goodness.
I have a hard time selling shirts. Once I start selling shirts a little more effectively, then I'll move into rock hammers.
I think why don't we scrap the shirts and go straight rock hammer?
Yeah.
I just think that it's
you can really rock
so
it.
inspiring, everything that Destin does. Like he dives into these things all the time. I know he has a little bit of luck with his amazing subtropical environment down there. He does have more moisture. He doesn't have to babysit as much. He does get more rain. Like I have tried to like max out the amount of plants or things that I have. And then I get to a certain point, like 10 minutes later, where it's like 100 degrees every darn day. And I'm like, I cannot keep this watered. So that's just my never ending struggle. It's like, how am I going to keep this watered and below 90 degrees with shade?
Right.
It's like an issue because west facing backyard.
Right. Let's see here. Let's jump in. I'm getting a couple of questions coming in here. Serene, I know Bowtie always gives me a good bunch of questions too. But Serena's asking, Phil, what's the sweetest fig you've ever tasted, and do you have that in stock?
I don't have it in stock, and I talked about this. If you guys post it, it's the LSU has certain select release varieties. Holier or Holier, if it's pronounced in the French language, but that thing is sweet as can be. Now, that being said, because I have some figs that are so sweet, like you have your LSU Champagne, you have Peter's Honey, Constantine the Algerie, a lot of these yellow honey figs, just like that Brix count is just jacked up so high where it's so sweet. But LSU
Explain what a Brix count is. Explain what a Brix count is.
Brix count is like there's a really cool tool you can actually use, and they do this in like beer brewing as well. And you drop some drops in, and you can look through it, and you can determine the Brix count. But it's the quantity of sugars by volume in a solution or a fruit. And so, if you think that like the higher the Brix count is, the higher volume of sugars by volume in something, and so that's kind of like a determining unit. But it's kind of a ratio, so it's unitless. But yeah, the Brix count.
Right on.
And you can measure that using a hydrometer. So when I was making wine, that's how I did it, to measure as the
and I did it when I was
sugar
making beer.
turns to alcohol.
So that's the Brix meter thing is a hydrometer.
Yes.
Oh,
do you also have another? It's like a refractor, so you use the light refractor, and you can look through that as well. Because oftentimes I call the hydrometers hydropeters because they break really easily.
Hydropeters.
Hydropeters. You're like, whoops.
I think I've seen Seed Farm Tame will do that with watermelons before. He'll take a watermelon out in the field, and he'll take a slice of the watermelon and put it into a little light looking thing, and looks up in the
refractometer, and like you can, and it's so easy. Yeah, it's really cool. Look at me peppering in science, but
yeah,
that's a really cool tool. LSU Holier, like those honey figs, it's so sweet. Here's the thing, and we're going to circle back to these heavy hitters, is that the ones that take a long time to kind of cultivate those flavors, you're getting flavors of berry, strawberry, raspberry, an acidic bite to them. So they may not be necessarily as sweet, where they take you back and you're like, whoa, that's sweet, but they're going to have more complex flavors that you're like, that's a fig. And I look at my friends who eat it and they're like, that's a fig. I'm like, that's a fig. And they're like, I had no idea. And that's kind of the whole trying to share it with everybody.
Right on. Excellent. Let's see here. Next question. Oh yeah, bow tie with the question here. Texas Garden Guy. Question: when the forecast hits triple digits, what shade cloth percentage do you use for peppers versus tomatoes?
So I don't really use a shade cloth for peppers. Peppers can typically handle the heat, even in triple digits. They don't really care. Same with eggplants. Eggplants and peppers don't really care. I mean, tomatoes will stop producing like when you get in like the high 90s, but peppers don't seem to care at all, especially the hot varieties. Like I'm doing a lot of the really hot varieties this year, and they love the heat. Those 7-pot hot lava chilies, they have been producing in the triple digits, and they don't care. And you can smell the heat coming off from when you walk past them. It's nuts. But I pretty much go into a 40%, 50% shade cloth right as soon as I take my. I did wait a couple weeks this year to put the shade cloth on, but once it got in, like, consistently in the 90s, I put that 40% shade cloth over my main greenhouse where I took the plastic off, just to give everything a little bit of shade. Your citrus that's where our citrus is at, and so it can get sun scald, so it helps out with that. And then peppers and tomatoes, and I keep a lot of propagations and little baby seedlings growing in there as well. So, and then I have a separate, my old greenhouse that has a shade cloth on it year round, where I keep all my like a lot of my propagations and stuff, because you don't want your propagations growing out in full sun right after you propagated them. So, but 40% is about as much as I go.
About 40%.
Yeah, it's usually good.
Okay, let's see here. David,
you mainly want to like make sure you're getting that west sun, because the west side is usually our hottest side. I learned that in my cactus greenhouse. I had to put a clear top over my I had to put a clear tarp over my greenhouse, because of my propagation greenhouse, because it was getting too much rain, and I want to protect them. And I put shade cloths over the top, but that west sun was still hitting the open side of my greenhouse, and I was getting a bunch of cactuses that I had bought. They were getting that west sun. They were getting fried. So I moved some of my taller plumerias in front of there, so they would get dappled sun, and it's definitely helped. So,
okay. Right on. Excellent. Let's see here. We got a question for Dezz. Let's see here. How do you audit a cluttered garden space and decide what gets kept, fixed, or composted?
Great question.
This is a great question, and especially because I very densely companion plant my garden beds. I use every little square inch of garden bed that I can when I am gardening, because I don't have a ton of space that I've dedicated to vegetable gardening in particular. And the way that I audit it is it pest ridden? Is it suffering from a plant disease? Like if it's a tomato, does it have blight? Am I having to expend more effort trying to keep that plant pest-free and healthy? And if that's the case, then I take that out of there. If it has a disease, I do not compost that. That is something that I make sure and throw into the trash. I don't want that in my compost. I don't want that in anybody else's compost. So I try not to keep that around. If it is pest ridden, I have a black giant trash can with a lid. I will put that plant material in there, and I put it on the west side of my house outside of my garden fence. And I let the sun bake that sucker for a couple of days to kill off any of the pest insects that are on those plants. And then I may throw that into the city compost. But essentially, like if it's going to take a lot more fertilizer than its surrounding plants, if it's not thriving as much, if it's fallen, prey to a lot of predators, then it's got to go. And that's the same thing, the same tactic I use also with my native and perennial beds. Don't keep something if it's not going to be able to make it. If it's a native plant, if it's not thriving in a spot, it wasn't meant for that spot to begin with. You can try to dig it up and put it somewhere else, but don't try to expend resources on keeping something alive that's not meant to be in the spot you put it. So
yeah,
you got to really think about your microclimates in your garden. And sometimes things just aren't going to work out. And that doesn't mean that you failed or that plant is a failure in your yard. It just means that you need to examine what you've done and maybe think about it a little differently and try to plant it somewhere else.
Yeah,
yes. Jay, plants, no whiners. I'm a little bit harder on my plants than I think some people are in some ways, because I really want to test out the limits of what's possible for them. I think especially in my area, because we are drier and we're getting hotter because we have the urban heat island effect going on. I think it's really important that we select plants for our, yards that are responsible plants. And I don't want to take up too much bandwidth babysitting something that shouldn't be there.
Yeah, that's very true. All right, let's see here again too. David, he always brings good questions here. Let's see what we got here. Plant Techie Josh. If someone has 0 sensors today, what is the first device you would add, and what decision what decision will it change?
Sensors, huh?
Do you sensors?
I'm guessing that's not common sensors. I'm thinking that he means technical sensors.
Right. Yeah.
There's a lot of common sense that's lacking today. Yes. We won't go down that path.
Yeah. Right. That would be a long path to go down, wouldn't it?
There's a lot of stuff that you can do to gauge the moisture in your soil. And I think those are really helpful sensors. I've seen those used. I've used some of those where when you're doing irrigation and you've got it automated. I used to have everything completely automated. And it was great because it would be like, oh, it rained today. We're going to skip watering for you. Like it kept up with the weather, it kept up with the rain. So any type of rain sensors really helped, but it depends a lot on your soil too, because what I've learned here, and this is something I struggle with that all y'alls, which is a Southern term, don't struggle with probably as much, which is like really hard red clay soil. Like I literally have to pickaxe my ground, like with a lot of physical effort. It is so. You have a lot of red clay there. Okay, so
it's not red clay. I've got black. It's black, but we do have
clay.
A lot of clay. We do.
And clay just holds moisture. So it's almost like the opposite, Phil, that you were talking about, where it was like, water just runs through and you need organic matter to hold it. Like, yeah, water just stays. Like I've killed 3 or 4 almond trees because they just can't seem to get enough air to their roots. And I'm about to give up. I built like
that's a tough tree for where you are. Almond trees. Yeah.
I'm determined. So I think knowing your soil is first, but then if you're going to have something that measures that moisture and then take that soil into account, would be how I'd answer that.
Yeah, because clay soil, when you really get down to like the structure of it, is flat. It lays on top of itself. And so it doesn't have a lot of airflow in there. And that's why it can get so compacted. So that is
shale. It becomes shale over time, and then metamorphosed shale becomes slate. So, and clay is really fine particles. So, like from a geologic standpoint, it's the 63 microns determines that makes it clay versus silt. And when it's in solution, it's actually harder to come out of sediment into solution because the electromagnetic force is stronger on clay than the gravitational force. And so clay is it's amazing. It's really fine. Like that's so small. And
And you
It
need
does.
it.
Cementation is real, but it does hold micronutrients, so that's something to think about. But
Another thing about it too, sorry to interrupt you, Phil, because I love when you get on this track. But if you are somebody that has a ton of clay soil, right? One thing to think about is if you dig a hole for a tree and you have a lot of clay soil and you don't take into account your soil structure, and then you plant your tree and you amend that soil thinking you're going to make a good enough difference in that soil for that tree. Sometimes if you don't take into account the amount of water that tree needs, what you're actually doing is creating a bowl of water with amended soil in it. And so whenever it rains or it gets a lot of moisture in there, you've just got dirt soup in there or soil soup in there, and then it takes a long time to drain that back out into the clay soil. So
yeah, for sure.
it's really important to take into. I feel your pain because honestly, Josh, I grew up in North Texas, and that is nothing but heavy red clay soil. And then I have enough clay that if it rains a lot here on my backyard, that it starts to crack and it will force root vegetables out of the ground.
I get cracking
them right
every
up out.
summer. It's crazy. I mean, you will
Yeah.
see like
Really?
half-inch cracks in the ground when we go for walks because it
Yes.
just dries out and opens up. It's wild.
Wow.
It's like a fissure.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's got to be tough to deal with for sure. Let's see, you guys. Let's see. Your last show I got on and checked out. You had Sean from Mindful Gardener on, right? Talking all about some garden tools and all of that. So our next question is:
Wow.
name one tool you would buy again and one you would skip. How about that? I'll start with you, Destin. What's a tool you would buy again and one you would skip?
Probably one I would skip for sure is that tapener. Tapener was cool. It's a cool little gadget, how it works. I mean, it's just having to refill that plastic and little tape. The tapener is a little like looking plier looking thing, and you stick it, between the pole and the plant, and you go like that, and it tapes it. It just like holds up. I mean, I could see how it'd be used in commercial use, but I try not to use so much single-use plastic in my garden. Just in general, I try not to do so much single-use plastic, and that's kind of wasteful. One thing I would buy again is my Felcos. And I have bought them again because I have several pairs. So my Felcos are something that it is worth the investment. But like a actual, I try not to buy like nothing is China, but I try not to buy so much stuff made in China. And if I can't get it made in USA, which it's funny, you try to find a pair of pruners that are made in USA, they'll say, "Oh, designed in USA, made in China." And that's like most of the pruners you say. But the Felcos are made in like Switzerland for like 100 years or something like that, and they last for generations, and they're made of high quality stuff. So I really, really love anything made by Felco. So
Yeah. Right on. How about for you, Josh? I know you on that show too. You brought in and did a little show and tell of a bunch of cool old
He's got
school
his
tools
site.
too.
He had all kinds of stuff I never even heard of. I was like,
Yeah.
That was great.
it's like, oh, you took that off the set of Game of Thrones. Like, how'd you get that?
Right?
He did.
So I do if we're talking any tools, not just gardening tools, I have a really killer splitting maul for splitting wood.
Oh, I've
And
seen that.
I do a lot of wood splitting. In fact, I do by hand like 2 cords a year that we go through, and I split most of it by hand. I started doing renting splitters, but it's more fun to use a good splitting maul. So I've got this amazing one. I'm trying to look for the brand of it, but I think it's SHW. But anyway, I've gone through like 3 or 4 axes, right? When you have a crappy axe, like and you're splitting for hours, like this is frustrating. So having a good splitting maul is huge. And then things that I would probably not get. There's a lot of like plastic tools that I've tried out, and I'm leaning towards like moving away from plastic and really looking at like all wood and metal. I think the last episode actually convinced me like, wow, I have way too many plastic tools or fiberglass. Like I just want everything to be either metal or wood moving forward. So I'm just trying to think through like And one of the things I made was my own little hand rake, which was like I cut off a piece of my rake and like put a bolt through a piece of wood I got and cut and made it into a little hand rake. And it's held up for 10 years, that little hand rake that I built. So I was like, man,
I love that.
That's way better than any plastic POS, that you can buy from the store.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm passionate about tools.
That's right. That's right. How about for you, Phil?
Oh man, I was going to say my Felcos are always in my pocket. Destin got them for me because he saw the ones I was using before, and they were just like, I beat the crap out of my stuff because I'm lots of fig trees, lots of pruning, and I sent them to me, and like he's like, you take care of these, and I'm like, I'm on track to like give these to my grandkids because you sharpen them, you oil them, and I gave myself, I snipped myself. I had to get it got glued. It wasn't stitches, but it was glued, and that was like a few months ago, and I've had them for years just because you keep care of them and they work really well. Actually, we were talking with Sean about this. Like, if I can dial my entire tool set down to like 4 tools and just have those forever, like he has this tool called the Razor that I'm really looking forward to. Like, it just does everything.
Right.
But I will say there's one thing that I'm moving away from, speaking of plastics, and it's those air layer bulbs that you can air layer with. And there's some real, if you look at some of the fig content creators out there, we did a lot of air layering where you girdle your trees, or you don't girdle, you just score the bark and then you air layer. We've had some really good results using other types of materials that actually have better airflow through those pots in bags to make the air layering more successful. And I'm kind of convinced as well.
Yeah,
I've been in a couple of Vietnamese nurseries in the last couple months, and they use aluminum foil. They'll use like saran wrap and
I
aluminum
used
foil
it
on the outside
because it reflects sunlight. So like when I was grafting, I used aluminum foil for the same reason, just to keep the sun off of it. And then that is a temporary fix. And then when you remove it, then because roots are obviously going to be sensitive to sunlight exposure.
I'm gonna have to look into that because I want to do some air layering experiments this next season as well.
But I was pretty disappointed with I was just disappointed with how those balls work. They just didn't have the same success rate that I've seen with people just using even just a Ziploc bag. I know that's a waste, but it seems like a way higher success rate.
Yeah. Much simpler. You can get foil or a little Ziploc bag right out of the kitchen versus having to order these plastic little ball things. So it's probably a better route, right?
Yeah.
How about for you, Dezz? What kind of tools you using out there in the garden?
I didn't get to be on last week's episode, but I did get in there in enough time for the tool segment we did, or they did, and my favorite gardening tool is the Hori Hori Ultimate from Bare Bones.
Oh, yes.
It has a beautiful wood handle. It has a steel end on it so you can hammer stakes in the ground. It has a serrated edge. It has a sharp edge. It has inch marks on it. And it slices through my clay soil so well. If you have roots that you're trying to cut out of the ground, it's perfect. You have your planting depths. You have everything that you need there. And so I love that tool. I've had mine now for I think going on 5 years. I've gifted it before. I love Bare Bones tools in general. This is not sponsored at all whatsoever. This is me telling you I have all their stuff because the quality is incredible. I mean, I love it. I highly recommend a Hori Hori gardening knife. They're the best. So that's my number one garden tool. I do also have Felcos, and I love them. Destin gifted me my Felcos as well. They're fantastic. They hold their blade.
What? Everybody's getting Felcos?
What number do you have, Dezz?
So
I don't remember.
Because I have the 5.
Come on.
Dezz has the Felco 14s, which are for
little
the 14s. The 14s are the newest. Reason I know this is because I was talking to a Felco rep this week, and she was at the trade show, and she was showing me. I did a whole video of her disassembling, oiling, and it was really neat. But the Felco 14s are the most recent model, and they are for people with smaller hands. And
I have tiny hands,
so they work out great.
Yeah, I'm a very short person. I'm 5 foot tall. I'm so small. So
maybe 4'2", 4'3". I mean,
No,
I
yeah,
never
but
knew
only
that.
because every time you guys see me, I'm like in that much of a platform. I'm very short. And then the tool, I think that some of the tools I would not buy again are those like, you'll see them at the big box stores. They're like the cultivators for your lawn that you just push around with like the, spiked wheels on them. I don't really think that they're enough to really, cultivate your lawn with, truly. And then I don't like the weed weasels. I think they're I don't really like them. If you have a
How
hori, you
dare
can
you
just
talk about Josh's weed weasel?
I was gonna say I saw that one on the last show too.
He loves
Right?
his weed weasel. He's like, bye.
Oh, he just went to go get it. Well,
You know-
you know
You
what?
know, he's out
Honestly,
here. He's
I
like,
love
Yeah, but
a
wait till we
loophole
get the
for
razor.
that.
Yeah.
I don't know. Have you guys ever used the loophole, the razored edge loophole
Yeah,
where
yeah.
you can just?
little
I
stirrup
use that
hoe.
all the
Yeah.
time in my DG because we have like a large area of that around our pergola that has like have little grass pop up and it will pull it out by the weeds and by the roots, and so I really like that.
Guys, I have an honorable mention.
An honorable mention. Awesome.
Okay. I have a big compost sieve that I put over buckets, and this thing changed how I get to harvest my compost.
Yeah.
And maybe I'm also a geologist, so like it's a big metal 1/4-inch galvanized steel sieve, and I put it on top of the bucket. So when you shovel over top of it, you give it a shake, and all the stuff that's not ready yet, that's too big, goes back to the compost bin or into another bucket. And what do you get? Great compost afterwards.
You do.
Already sieved.
That's awesome.
So,
all set up
highly
for a
recommend
bucket though.
compost sieve.
I built my own little sifters. So I got like a like a little 1/4-inch and then an 1/8-inch sifters that I got that they're just big ones, and they hooked up some chains that go up, and I just shake that sucker right into a big old bin or something. But
that's awesome.
But having a little bucket,
it looks sounds a little Mad Maxy, I must say. Like,
right, it is. It really is. But no, having a bucket one like that,
Mad Max, who knows? Yeah.
So I'll let this out before I shoot the video because I'm gonna do the video this week. But I've been doing a lot of like bonsai soil and like fine, mixed like DG, and I've been sifting a lot of like decomposed granite, expanded shale, and trying to get the finer particles. And I was using the little 5-gallon bucket sifters, and I was like, there's got to be an easier way to do this. And so I went online. I was looking up like you can get like 1/4-inch sifters online for like a couple $100. And then I had a cool idea. I bought a bingo raffle rolling little tube, and I've been putting it on Amazon. I'll show you, dude. So
my gosh,
I didn't know how well it would work. I didn't know how big the holes were, but they were almost exactly 1/4-inch. And so I literally make my bonsai soil, and you can use it for like seed starting soil, to get the bigger particles out. And so you just fill up your little bingo little thing, and I've been turning it. And I bought like a little cement mixer, little pan, like from Home Depot Lowe's, and I'm just turning it. And
that's a great.
That's so creative. What a
bingo
idea!
$40 on Amazon, and I'm like, this is freaking awesome.
the honorable mention.
Video coming. I'm about to shoot the video like tonight now, because I said it here.
right. Now you got to have it out. All right. Real quick here. Let's do this one like a little speed round or whatever here. Barrett got in here to ask top 5 fall veggies to start. Do you guys have a fall veggie garden going or getting it started up?
I just planted more tomatoes because I have a fun 60 days left. I did seeds 2 weeks ago for my tomatoes with and they're ready to go. Purple Cherokee, super sweets, the cherries, and pink brandy wines. But and then now I'm going to get into and a birdhouse gourd squash, and then but the other ones I'm definitely getting my collards ready because it's Carolina collard planting season for the winter time.
Think of the fall, like spring, like everything you would have planted like transplant like in March. You can plant right now, but you probably want to do it from a transplant. You don't probably want to start many seeds right now. So I mean, if you can get tomato starts, we can transplant them, and it's just think of it like March, like it's mid-March right now, but you're probably gonna, instead of it getting too hot, it's gonna get too cold, so it's just.
If you have good sunlight, right? The sun's lower in the skies as far as azimuth, so like that southern light's going to start playing a factor in the fall.
But like squash, you can grow squash, like some yellow squash that is doing quick. You can do that right now. Green beans, people are doing beans again right now.
Cucumbers.
There's a lot of stuff you can do. Cucumbers, late fall cucumbers. I mean, but we would have wanted to start those seeds about 4 to 6 weeks ago. Stone peas like do over winter, right? Is that over winter? Stone peas is like that.
Peas,
snap peas.
Yeah, most peas.
They like the cooler temperatures.
Yep.
Really, in my
one of my top
main
5
things, the overnight temperatures here are still like 75, 80 degrees in my little microclimate. So I'm not doing too much yet, but I will be starting like cucumbers, beans, squash. And I will be putting some tomato plants from transplant in. I'm going to buy them. I don't have the bandwidth to grow anything from seed at the moment with all my everything else. But
it's just so hot. It's just so hot.
It's too hot.
They dry out too fast. I mean, you can do it, but you would have wanted to start your tomatoes like back in late July.
Yeah.
And it was just so freaking hot. I mean,
it was so hot.
I had a window. I did in my greenhouse where I just had a little bit. You can put shade cloth in the greenhouse and things, but like 2 weeks. Mine are about 2 weeks in, but like honestly, I was very, very impressed with the soil blocks. We talked about that on our last episode. Soil blocking is like jump starting your seed starters. But the other thing that I'm doing in ground now that things are cooling off and I have a fall is carrots because they'll overwinter really well.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I've got carrots going out there already. They're doing
I discovered last year it was winter radishes, and there's a bunch of different types.
Radishes.
And they've, spring radishes are not going to make it through the winter here because the tops will die off. But winter radishes will make it through the entire winter here. So they're a lot like carrots, but zestier, I guess what you could say. So it's sort of like half and half if you think about it. I'm really fun. I'm getting into them.
Zesty vegetable.
You guys ever grow turnips?
Turnips I grew once 1 years ago, but I don't do it regularly though.
Yeah, I heard that turnips could make it through winter as well.
Yeah, I'm sure like a lot of those good root crops just kind of depending on kind of how cold you get and that sort of thing. But also, radishes are a big one for me, and you can do those multiple succession as well too, and get multiple different crops out of them because they're just such a short growing. They only need about 30 days for a lot of the regular bulb, and I'd grow a French breakfast, which is delicious. And then again, the greens, you can get the greens off of them too, which are all right. So especially in the cooler part of the year, the greens are even better.
Here's
what I was it depends on if you're a fruit man or a root man.
Why can't we be both? Can we be both?
Yeah.
But I was gonna say we're entering that fall season where like planting fruit trees is actually pretty good timing. If you know that in the growing zone that you're in, now's the time, because if you do it in the fall, all the work that they're not going to grow on top. It's all what's under the hood. So if you're in zone 8 and south, plant a fig tree in the fall, get that root system established. Come springtime, they're going to just gung-ho way faster than if you were to plant them in the spring, because you'll have to water so much more an in-ground tree its first year. But if you can get it started now, you're just setting yourself up for success the following year with a lot of fruit trees. So I recommend that.
And in warmer zones, planting late in the spring can be more of a death sentence. So that's actually the only plants that I've killed. I died because they died. Anyway, or because I planted them way too late in the spring in the heat of the summer, and it's like you can't water them enough to keep the roots to be able to extend out in the soil. So fall planting in warmer zones is a key to success. Late spring is a death sentence.
Yes.
Yeah.
You guys, Dave has got me dying over here laughing from the comment section. He has been writing.
He's something else.
I cannot stop laughing.
Our definitely our in-house comedian for sure.
Who?
Definitely.
Where he comes up with this stuff.
Jay?
Oh, it's so
right
good.
on, right on, right
I
on. But
want
yeah,
that. I
lots
want
of
that children's book, actually. Dave,
yeah.
spin it up.
Set it up right for sure. Right on, guys. Man, we got through a lot today, man. And again, too, it's just where'd the
Goes so
time go?
fast.
Where'd the
It's
time go?
It's how it goes. It's how it
I
goes.
mean,
Yeah, every
literally, it's
time.
been almost an hour and a half of, and it seems like it was only like 5 minutes. So wow, again, right on. It's so great to have you guys back on the show with us today. Just really, really great to catch up with you all. And I guess, real quick, before we do let you go, a real quick little round the house, little outro for each of you there to kind of tell us what you got growing on here soon. And I think we'll skip Dez. She's laughing right now.
I can't help it.
Right on. Anyways, how about you, Phil? What's going on there before we let you go?
I'm getting ready for let's see. Fig Palooza is coming up in Greenville, North
Mhm.
Carolina. So any North Carolinians who wants to really nerd out in
Yeah.
figs, there's a bunch of vendors there. I'll be speaking. I think I'll have some trees for sale. They're the larger ones that I can't necessarily ship. And it's just there to connect with the greater fig community, which is awesome. And then following that, for all you Texans out there, we have Figtoberfest October 4th down in Brazoria County, sponsored by their ag program. And so me and Destin will be there, hopefully others. And we did it last year, and I couldn't tell you, it was so much fun. It was so much fun to connect with all of you, your viewers, and just like nerd out over figs and other things that we like to grow. It's going to be an awesome time. And then by then, besides harvesting my own figs and fruit, and then I have citrus season coming into play, everything's going to be winding down, and then fig cutting season will be here before you know it. So if you guys are interested in fig cuttings from me, reach out with questions, but I think mid-December. So sign up at philsfigs.com on the email list.
Yeah, definitely go over there. philsfigs.com. Get some of those good fig varieties.
And
Awesome.
and we actually have opened up the Figtoberfest to, if you want to show up and you want to sell plants. It's not just figs. I mean, if you have figs, even better. But someone had emailed me and asked if they do native pollinator plants, and they're like, "Can we do that?" And I was like, "Oh, of course. It doesn't have to just be fig trees." But just shoot me an email, texasgardenguy@gmail.com to lock in those spaces.
Excellent. Did you have something there, Phil? You look like you wanted to say something.
Say it.
No, you want me to say it? Oh man,
Yeah.
I did. I was really excited. We're gonna have food trucks this year too at Figtoberfest.
Oh, nice.
This dude can eat. He's gonna eat every one of those food trucks.
We went out to lunch, and Destin and Dezz watched me. I'm like, "This is great. Oh, this is awesome brisket. Let's do it." And I ate it all, and they looked at me like, "How did you?"
We're sitting there watching like,
I love it, actually. It's wonderful to watch him love his food. That's
so you gonna eat that? I was just
a good Texas brisket, man. How can you beat that, right?
Yeah.
Oh my
You gotta get it all if you can, right?
It's fantastic. We're looking forward to it. We're looking forward to it.
Right on. And the newest member of the garden party, Josh, what's going on here?
I've got a lot of events coming up locally where I'm speaking at our fall festival for our local community garden. I'm teaching everybody how to plant trees. I've got such an excess of fruit trees that I'm planting them at other people's houses and other. So it's not just me giving them the tree. It's like I'll come over and help plant it at your house or plant it at our community garden. So I've got a bunch to plant, and then I've just been trying out a lot of new like tech stuff. So I'm gonna get some new shooting gear, and I'm always like messing with gadgets. So I have like a whole list of gadgets and different gizmos that I like to shoot videos with. So I'm trying to expand and try some different formats, different topics, I'm always just experimenting with social media, which is sort of my techie side of like, hey, how can I do this different? How can I do this better? And it's fun. So every couple months I just try something new. So just stay tuned. I'll be getting out some new techniques, new content, new toys. It'll look good.
Yeah. We gotta check out my friend's channel, Christopher Bransdall. He's a real tech guy too, as well. He creates his own circuit boards and timers. He does a lot of hydroponic stuff, indoor gardening things. He's really, really
Ooh.
into that sort of stuff. I think you'd really like some of the stuff. And he's actually getting ready to re-gear up his channel to start putting out new stuff, as he's got a whole new grow room and all that sort of stuff. And it's amazing what he can grow out of Norway, but utilizing some of that tech knowledge to build all this sort of stuff that he does is really cool. I think you'd probably like that.
Wow.
Nothing we
yeah.
like more around here than hooking people up with other great growers out there too.
Oh, for sure.
Mhm.
Cool.
And
Yeah.
shout out to, did you say Bikram's coming on this week or next week?
Oh yeah.
I heard the book club,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Vikram's going to be on fourth Sunday for September. So we do our monthly gardening book clubs. And our monthly gardening book clubs, we feature a book and have a great interview with the author on the third Sunday of the month. But it's back to school time. Our co-host Mark, who co-hosts the book club with me, he's a garden educator and teaches gardening to young kids at a school up in Portland and all of that. So we thought it'd be really great to feature some kids' books. So
Oh, yeah.
we got a former guest you've had on, Marcus Bridgewater, and his new book,
Mhm.
See Marcus Grow, for our third Sunday, and then Vikram's going to be on for our fourth Sunday to talk about plants to the rescue. In fact, I got the books right here. Let me show
No,
everybody.
that's
See
awesome.
I need
Marcus Grow,
Marcus
Plants to the
Grow.
Rescue. Yeah. So it's really great. We're just a really great opportunity to talk about gardening education, teaching the next generation about growing and the importance of, just gardening in nature and all of that in general. And so those should be some really, really fantastic conversations with those guys too, especially Vikram. You guys know, you've met him, and you know,
Yeah.
and all of that. He's just such a plethora of knowledge and all of that too. So it's gonna be really fun too, especially with Vikram too, to be able to talk the whole spectrum of gardening and growing education, from young kids with his book all the way to higher education and teaching folks like Dezz and all of that, how to
Mhm.
find new careers and all of that too. So gonna be really awesome. Looking forward to that.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'll actually be with Marcus. We're doing a fundraising event at Harvest for the Hungry. We're both going to be speaking. And I was like, they're like, oh yeah, we're going to put Marcus before you. I was like, no, Marcus goes after me. I will open for Marcus. He does this for a living. I will definitely, I'll be in tears, I'm listening to Marcus. I swear, every time we talk to Marcus on here, like he has us like in tears. Like he's just the sweetest guy you've ever heard talk. He's amazing. Marcus is absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
And Vikram's okay too.
He's okay too. Yeah, Marcus, I'm looking forward to that too. I love his book. Like I said, I just became a grandfather myself this last year, so I'm looking forward to thank you. But I'm really looking forward to teaching my granddaughter gardening and all that sort of stuff as she's growing up and everything. So a really fun book. It's just little Marcus telling the story of him and his grandmother in her garden and all that too. So it's such a great first book for her to have for gardening and all of that as well. So right on.
Love it.
Excellent. And how about for you? Did we get to you, Destin, yet?
Oh no,
what do you got?
You're good. I'll be at the Great Fall Garden Festival. That'll be at Petals from the Past in Alabama, and that is on the 20th of September. And then we got the Faketoberfest right on the corner. So I'll be everywhere, but I'll be posting. Make sure you follow us on Instagram and everything. The garden parties every Wednesday at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. Next week we got our friend Raish coming on, Raish Gala. She's fantastic. Happy to talk to her, catch up with her, and talk to her in a while. And so we got a lot of exciting guests. We'll definitely be having Enoch back on as well. So make sure you tune in. The good thing about being four of us now is that if Dezz has got school and she's bowed up, she can miss an episode. It feels like got something with his kids, or he's really invested in a rock at the time. He can pop off, and you'll still get 3/4 of this. It's usually at least 3 out of 4 every week. So
yes.
Yeah, and so much fun. And again, too, just like this conversation today, it's just so fun and to be able to talk about gardening with a group of folks who just enjoy it so much that we can all just have real fun with the conversation. And you guys do that so well each and every week on, again, Wednesdays. That's 5 p.m. Pacific and 7 Central, 8 Eastern, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah,
Perfect.
just set that notification bell, and you'll get every time
That's
we go
right.
live.
That's what I tell
There you
everybody.
go.
Just make sure
There you
you're
go.
on the notification. Exactly. Right on, Dez. What do you and what else you got coming up here?
So I haven't even told my guys yet, but I am going to be off the garden party for 2 Wednesdays because I'm going to be in Washington State.
Okay.
I am
Cool.
going to go up there and check out the San Juan Islands and go see orca in the wild and go see all the cool plants that are up there in Washington State, explore Seattle some, and hopefully I'm doing this kind of in between school work. There's like a week where like I'm managing to do this. So I'm going to go and do that. I am planning to go to Figtoberfest. So we just yesterday decided that we're doing this Washington trip. We had been really considering it, but we were waiting on 2 babies to come into our family. They happened a couple weeks ago, so now we're able to do it, and I'm excited because I love the Pacific Northwest. Like everything up there is just my whole heart. I don't know what it is, but it calls to me. I love it.
That's basically my homeland. Basically, I'm from the west coast of Washington and spent many years in the Seattle area there. One recommendation I would say, if you're in Seattle and you get a chance to do it, or check and see if they have available openings so you can go in and do that. But check out Amazon Spheres downtown.
Oh, we're doing
Seattle.
that.
The Amazon Spheres, I've got a cool little video that I did the last time I was there and everything. Just an amazing space right in the middle of downtown. They look like 3 little bubbles. They're kind of together, you know.
Yeah, they do.
Just huge, like 3-story bubbles in the middle of downtown, just full of just all sorts of just wonderful plants that they're growing in there, like a little rainforest, trees even in there that you can walk around in, and all that sort of stuff. So it's just an amazing place. Yeah, so
I love
glad you got that on your list, because that's such you got to see that.
Is it biophilic design, where it's like greenery meets like everyday life living, like you have it adjacent to your workspaces. It's the combination of nature and everyday life in, you know, our indoor environments. So important.
And it's really cool is like for the first few years that they had that there, I wanted to get in there so bad, but it was really only for employees for like its first several years. It was built as an employee think space. So the Amazon employees can go over there and just do whatever work, and it just kind of help inspire them to think up new ideas and all that sort of stuff. So, but now that they let all the public in a lot more now, and you can go in there, just wander around and check everything out. It's so cool.
I'm really excited. Honestly, I love it up there. I'm so excited. You know, and coming up, I am going to be talking about some really cool things that I learned this week. I'm going to make some educational videos, just kind of green screen it out, talking about just the cool things that even NASA is doing to figure out how to grow food out of regolith on the moon, which is incredibly interesting. They're using viticulture and certain types of plants that they figured out ways to grow. And there's a lot of interesting questions there about like, what do plants do in low gravity environments, and how do the roots form? And so I have a lot of really fun things to talk about from my week.
Yeah, that's cool. You're doing that too, though. That's something I've been working on right now, actually, for hopefully a future show that we can do, and talking about that sort of stuff. Because again, and I think I can't remember what the name of it is, but it's like the Moon Garden Project or something like that. I can't remember. They got something that run where they're, it's kind of a contest or whatever to get new ideas and new thoughts on that sort of stuff, and see what people can come up with. But talk about the future of gardening, right? Somewhere in our science fiction future, right? There's got to be some colonies on the moon or some Mars, maybe, whatever. But again, too, one of the things about, in any time you talk about any sort of space exploration, with folks who, who are into those sort of things, food is always got to be a part of it. Like if they're going to take a trip to
Absolutely.
Mars, it's going to take like 6 months or so, and a part of that trip would have to be growing food. And I think it's one of the limitations that they have the hardest time figuring out right now is how do we maintain supplies of
is.
food and grow food for a trip like that too. So that's all this amazing, fascinating stuff.
Grow
Right?
food, limited water. How much does it weigh? What will it take? What is the people labor involved? It's such an interesting topic. I learned so much this week.
Yeah.
I'm fired up.
Right on. Yeah, me too. Right on. Again, too. I could keep on talking to you guys all day long about all this sort of stuff. But again, this is just so much fun. And again, I look forward to being able to have you guys back on again in the future here, or getting back on the garden party and hanging out with you guys again here sometime in the future. But again, thank you so much, you guys, for getting together. All 4 of you, even here. You know, we got all 4 of you today. So really awesome. Again. Yeah, right.
Well,
again,
thank you very much.
Yeah, right
thank you.
on. Excellent. Thank you. All right, guys. We'll catch you guys later. Thank you so much for being here.
No
Bye.
problem.
See ya.
Hey, gardeners. Thanks for tuning in to our show today. We'll be right back at it here in just a moment. I just wanted to take a second here to highlight our regular videos and features here on the Urban Gardener channel. Our weekly garden journals, and our incredible featured visits.
Oh, well. I got the wrong break in there, but anyways, that's all right. Again, thank you to the Garden Party podcast for joining with us here today. It was so great to have them all here with us, talk all about what they've got growing on, and go and check them out again every Wednesday on the Texas Garden Guy channel, Garden Party, and that's at 5 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern. I got that right. But go check them out. Always a great conversation. And again, like they said, they got Raish. We had Raish Gala on our show not too long ago. So they'll have her on the show this next Wednesday. So definitely go and check them out. And like I said, too, earlier today, I did put out a new video. I got my rooftop pepper video put out this last Friday. So go check that out. Check out our peppers up on the rooftop and see what we've got growing on there with our peppers. And I'll also hopefully have out this next weekend a video tour, kind of a little summer garden tour. We'll take a look around at all of the garden spaces that we have around the garden and see how things have fared through our real hot summertime, and check out some of the things that are, doing good, and maybe some that aren't so good. We've got the whole range of that when it comes to this summer garden tour coming up. So keep an eye out for that. And also, too, again, one more time, I'll mention this here, as it is the last day of Sarah's Seed Shop. Definitely go, if you can, over there at Sarah's Seed Shop and check out some of the deals and things that she has left over in the seed shop as she's closing down, and get some of those seeds over at sarahseedshop.com. And again, thank you, Sarah, so much for all that you've done for us here on the Urban Gardener channel, and we hope to see you around some more in the future as well, too. Awesome. Excellent. And again, too, next Saturday, everybody, next Saturday, you want to come and join with us. This next Saturday, we're going to be doing a community show where you, the audience, are the guest. So definitely come and check out our community show. Come and join in with the show as all of you viewers get an opportunity. Come in and hang out with us, and we'll have you on for a few minutes here. Talk all about what you got growing on in your garden, maybe a little show and tell from some of the things that you might be harvesting out of your garden, and as well all of those small channels out there, or if you do know of, and again, want to get the word out there too, to some newer small channels and give them an opportunity, come on and say hi during our community show here on the Let's Get Growing show next Saturday. So definitely come along and check out that. Those are always fun. I just probably one of the more fun shows that we've been doing this year are these community shows, and I really look forward to seeing you all this next Saturday for our next community show. And as well, next Sunday, we're going to have Dr. Jeff with us on. Dr. Jeff Pierce will be back to talk more about gardening as medicine. We'll dig into a topic of gardening and health, and really hopefully you learn a whole some more advantages to gardening and in our health. There's just so many ways that gardening is healthy for us, not just the food that we grow, but the actions of gardening, the mental health, what we get out of it all. So many great topics when it comes to gardening as medicine, and it'll be really fun to get back together and hang out with Dr. Jeff Pierce and talk all about that this next Sunday on the show. And again, we've already talked about it a couple more times, but real quick here, we got our monthly gardening book club. It's September back to school time with our good friend and co-host Mark Lachey Colbert and garden educator himself. We'll have 2 different monthly book clubs this month. We're going to be featuring Marcus Bridgewater's See Marcus Grow on our 3rd Sunday of the month, our usual Sunday for the monthly gardening book club. And then on the 4th Sunday of the month, we're going to have Dr. Vikram Baliga talking about Plants to the Rescue, his book, and just some really great conversations we're going to have all about gardening education and teaching the next generation all about the fun and benefits of growing your own gardens. So definitely check out those conversations coming up. And again, everybody, thank you all so much for being here today and hanging out with us. It's just really great to have you all here. And we look forward to seeing you all again real soon. If you can, before you head out though, let's go ahead and click that like button and hit the thumbs up. Hit the bell notification on the subscribe button when you hit subscribe, and get notified of all of our upcoming videos, like our pepper videos and our upcoming summer garden tour, as well as share with all of your friends and let them know about the Let's Get Growing show and all of these wonderful, awesome guests that we have here each and every week on Saturday and Sundays, 11 a.m. Pacific time, 2 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. for those over in the UK, and bright and early 4 a.m. and earlier, in fact, for those living in Australia. So again, thank you all so much for being here. Check out all the links down below in the description for all of our guests today. Go and check out one of their more recent videos or posts, and go leave them a comment. Let them know that you saw them here on the Let's Get Growing show. And all right, everybody. We'll see all of you this next Saturday. We'll see you then.
Power out.